At the start of today's movie, a voiceover sets the stage by discussing the dire state of the planet that we find ourselves in. More crucially, the narrator evokes an emotional sense of loss over the absence of sunrises, which were once guaranteed markers of a new day. The voiceover provides some context of this grim reality, as years ago, humanity had depleted all of its fossil fuel resources, and in response, the global focus shifted to the harnessing of the nuclear fusion reactor at the core of our galaxy, the Sun itself. The narrator highlights how solar energy had come to be celebrated as clean, safe, and abundant, and never running out and powering all of our essential utilities, including both lighting and climate control systems. However, the voiceover injects a note of profound existential dread by revealing a shocking truth. The sun is on the verge of getting extinguished. By the way, this will technically happen in a couple million years. If you guys don't know, now you know. Moving on. This is a game-changing revelation that strikes at the heart of an age-old saying many had taken for comfort. No matter what happens today, the sun will rise tomorrow. Yeah, at some point, it never will. The voiceover sadly clarifies that this saying is no longer scientifically accurate, as the sun is about to go dark, leaving Earth without any source of energy. Following this unsettling introduction, the scene transitions to our main character Yang. He's awakened from his sleep by Elsa, a highly advanced AI robot with futuristic capabilities. Yang works as an analyst, meticulously examining satellite data for a major company called Helios. This corporation is a leading producer of solar power, and it provides the energy that sustains much of China. At the center of this monumental shift towards solar energy is Helios' charismatic CEO, Wang. So the stage is set. A world on the brink, a man intertwined with its dying light, and a corporation at the heart of humanity's last hope. Yang has a job that revolves around analyzing satellite data for Helios, the major solar energy company. He posts these updates on his own website, which is how he makes his living. One day, while he's working, something unusual catches his eye. A nearby star vanishes from his monitor. Yang has a gut feeling that this event is somehow connected to the sun's well-being. However, Elsa, the AI robot, quickly points out that his theory doesn't really line up with the laws of science, specifically the law of conservation of energy. According to Elsa, the disappearance of a star wouldn't really affect our sun. When Yang steps out of his apartment, it's clear how big of a deal Helios is. Pretty much everything runs on solar power, from streetlights to cars, and it's all thanks to Helios' technology. You can see their logo plastered everywhere, and in their background, there's even a broadcast talking about how Helios is close to provide solar energy to District 4, the last area that hasn't yet switched over to their services. The next morning starts with a bombshell. An emergency alarm blares from Yang's computer, and it turns out that the brightness of the sun has started to dim, and it's happening pretty fast. Elsa confirms Yang's theory that the disappearing star affecting the sun was actually spot on. Realizing the urgency, Yang tells Elsa to get in touch with Wang, the CEO of Helios. When they speak, Yang confronts Wang, asking point blank if he knew that the sun was on the brink of dying out today. Instead of answering the question, Wang flips it around, and he asks Yang what he would do if he knew that today was the last day on Earth. When Yang replies that he would try to survive, Wang gives him an address and tells him to show up there if he makes it through the day. Intrigued, but also anxious, Yang then rushes to his neighbor's apartment to get a clearer look at the sun. As he stands near the window, staring at the horizon, he witnesses something shocking. The sun flickers as if struggling to stay bright. Yang's unexpected appearance in his neighbor Chen's apartment leaves her puzzled and a little annoyed. She asks him to leave, but Yang is too immersed in the terrifying sight unfolding before his eyes to pay her much attention. The sun is visibly dying, and at the same time, TV stations begin to live broadcast the phenomenon, and there are even reports that the moon, visible from the other side of the Earth, is flickering as well. Within a few heart-stopping seconds, the flickering intensifies, and then everything plunges into darkness. Shaken, Yang heads back to his own apartment, with Chen trailing behind him, demanding to know what's going on. Yang ignores her questions and turns to Elsa, asking what the future holds. Elsa delivers a chilling forecast. The temperature will drop to 0 degrees Fahrenheit within a week, and will further drop to minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit within a year. This extremely cold weather will make the Earth basically unlivable, and oxygen levels will also gradually deplete as all life forms will vanish and Earth will turn into a lifeless, frozen wasteland. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Yang advises Chen to leave the city immediately, and he then heads out himself. Chaos has erupted in the streets, people are confused, scared, and panicking, and Yang walks into a grocery store that's jam-packed with folks desperately trying to get their supplies. Basically every scene from an apocalyptic movie. A sense of urgency fills the air, but there's a problem. The cash registers won't work because the power is down. As people scramble for essentials, the world grapples with an impending apocalypse, and Yang finds himself at the heart of a crisis that's beyond anyone's worst nightmare. He has an address from Wang, a dying son, and a ticking clock. The challenge now is to survive and possibly find a solution to save a world that is spiraling into disappearance. As he's making his way through a dimly lit road, disaster strikes, and a thief suddenly attacks him, knocking him out cold and injuring his leg in the process. And once Yang wakes up, he rushes back to his apartment to pack essentials, clothes, and whatever food supplies he has left. Just as he's about to leave, his neighbor Chen shows up at his door, his backpack slung over his shoulder, and she asks for his help in contacting her parents. Yang, feeling stressed and a little heartless, tells her that he can't help her and asks her to go away. However, the conversation takes a turn when Chen mentions that she owns a car. Realizing that the vehicle could be invaluable for his journey, Yang changes his tune and they agree to travel together. But before they leave, Chen makes Yang promise to take her to her parents' home after they visit Wang. They set off together, but their journey hits a roadblock almost immediately, as a massive traffic jam has clogged the streets. Chen exits the car and uses the washroom, and Yang sees this as a chance to ditch her. He starts to drive away, but is promptly stopped by a crowd of people. And when Chen returns and sees that the car is not where she left it, she questions Yang. Caught off guard, he lies, and he tells her that he was just making a turn, but in reality, he was gonna ditch her and just leave without her. So there they are, two unlikely companions bound together by circumstance and a dying world, each with their own motives and goals. As they navigate traffic jams and personal tension, Yang must wrestle with his own selfish impulses, all while the clock ticks down on humanity's final days. Soon after, Yang and Chen finally make it to Wang's home under the cover of night. There, they find other people who also seek refuge, and together, they gather around a fire, trying to find some comfort in each other's company. But for Yang, the mood is dim, and his smartwatch runs out of battery, causing Elsa, his AI robot, and his only real friend to go silent. The loss hits him hard, and Chen notices his sadness and makes an effort to console him, and the two end up talking and sharing a genuine moment, growing closer as they navigate their fears and uncertainties. The next morning, Yang decides it's time to get some answers, and since Wang is incredibly wealthy and resourceful, Yang is convinced that the man must have a plan for survival. But what he hears from Wang leaves him utterly disheartened. Wang explains that the crisis that they're facing is beyond any hope of fixing, and he's resigned himself to staying where he is and waiting for the end to just come. Wang goes on to reveal a startling truth. A highly advanced civilization from deep space is responsible for their hardship. These beings have been harvesting energy from stars, leading to the extermination of life on various planets. Earth is their largest target, and they've succeeded in throwing the solar system into chaos. At the center of the system, with the gravitational forces now severely disrupted, all of the planets, including Earth, will eventually be flung out of their orbits, scattering aimlessly into the void of space. In the final stretch of his speech, Wang gives Yang coordinates for a location in District 4, saying that if he truly wants a chance at survival, that's where he should go. When Chen wakes up, they resume their dangerous journey, bundled up against the highly dropping temperatures. As they drive, Chen spots a space shuttle lifting off into the sky. Yang says that it's likely the wealthy, making their desperate escape to another planet in a bid to outlive Earth's impending doom. True to his word, Yang drives Chen to her parents' home, and once he drops her off, he continues on his way to the mysterious location Wang had pointed him toward. But then, he realizes that Chen left her beloved plant in the car. Feeling a tug at his conscience, he turns around to return it, and when he arrives at Chen's home, the atmosphere is chilling in more ways than one. Chen is alone and visibly distressed, and she doesn't say a word. The entire town appears to have evacuated in the emergency, leaving a haunting emptiness. The house's fish tank is starting to freeze over, signifying how dire the situation has become. But nothing prepares Yang for what he finds next. He walks into a room and is horrified to discover both of Chen's parents lying dead in their bed. The moment is a stark reminder of the terrible reality that they're all facing. Survival is uncertain, and time was running out. In the harrowing sequence, Yang picks up a letter that he finds clenched in the hands of Chen's father. The letter reveals that her parents were waiting for her return and had written her a note urging her to take care of herself in the city. Tragically, a group of thieves broke into their house and killed them, pushed to the extreme act by their own survival instincts in a world that's on the brink of collapse. Crushed by this revelation, Chen breaks down. Feeling a deep connection to her grief, Yang shares that he too is an orphan and has no idea who his parents are. He encourages Chen to accompany him to District 4, the potential safe haven that Wang had told him about. United in sorrow but strengthened by mutual support, the two decide to continue on their desperate journey. They drive for a while but find themselves struggling to cope with the harsh weather. Making matters worse, their car's battery is nearly drained, and just when they feel at a loss, they spot a house advertising electricity for sale. An elderly couple welcome them warmly and claim to have electricity derived from coal. However, the apparent sanctuary turns out to be a trap, and the woman locks Chen in the bathroom while her husband grabs the car keys from Yang. Apologizing, the old couple speed away in the stolen car, leaving Chen and Yang stranded and distressed. Yang's leg injury, inflicted by a thief earlier, worsens, making each step painful. He suggests to Chen that she should go ahead to District 4 without him, but she strongly refuses, insisting that they'll face whatever comes next together. After wrestling with their limited options, they make the difficult decision to go to District 4 on foot. And along the way, they take a break to eat instant noodles and gaze at the stunning night sky, finding a moment of peace amidst the chaos. As they sit there, contemplating the beauty of a universe that seems indifferent to their troubles, it's clear that their journey is about more than just physical distance. It's more about finding meaning and connection when faced with insurmountable odds. In a world falling apart, Chen and Yang discover that sometimes the real sanctuary is the bond forged between two souls navigating their way through darkness. As Chen and Yang enter the city area once more, they surprisingly find their car abandoned on the side of the road. But before they can rejoice, a group of mine workers confront them, and realizing the danger, Yang sacrifices himself to protect Chen and allows himself to be captured. The workers take him to their headquarters, where he's forced to become one of the laborers mining coal. But Chen isn't one to give up easily. Armed with only a can of pepper spray, she daringly infiltrates the compound. Although she succeeds in freeing Yang, he's shot as he attempts to escape. Bleeding but determined, Yang climbs back into the car as Chen takes the wheel, driving as fast as she can toward District 4, their last hope of survival. Upon reaching the district's entrance, Yang notices that the area has access to geothermal energy, a resource that could very well save them. As they continue their journey, an icy chill starts to fill the air, and the windows of their car and the road itself begins to frost over. Time is running out, and just when they need it most, the car's battery finally gives out. With no other options, Chen and Yang huddle together in the back seat, holding each other's hands. A voice from the car sadly informs them that they're experiencing their final moments on Earth. And Chen calls out to Yang, but he doesn't respond, and overwhelmed by grief and exhaustion, she lays her head on his shoulder and submits to the freezing cold, falling asleep. Sometime later, another car pulls up next to their motionless vehicle. A couple step out and find Chen and Yang, unconscious but still alive, and quickly carry them to their car. They're taken to a haven within District 4, safe for now from the freezing conditions outside. And as the movie concludes, a voiceover reveals that Earth is speeding through space toward another galaxy, with not only one, but 3 suns to replace the one that humanity has lost. And finally, the message is clear. Even in the direst circumstances, hope and life must find a way to endure. What about you guys? You think you can endure an apocalypse? Leave your comments in the comment section.